So the most important thing about being on the bit is that the horse is active from behind. That means from the hindquarters through the body, through the neck, and soft over the back and over the neck and the poll. So people sometimes think that it's about making your horse drop its head so that the head is at the vertical, but it's actually about working your horse from behind the saddle and through, and we call the horse being in front of the leg and between leg and hand. So that means that the horse is active from behind and that he is working through his body to a nice soft contact in the bit through your hand, and that he's not rushing ahead and pulling at the bit. He gives you a slight feeling of going uphill, and that behind he's nice and active, and then you're not having to do too much to maintain him in that energy. You're not kicking and whacking and shouting. You're just riding as a passenger, and your horse is active and soft over the back. And it gives you a lovely feel, and you're not bouncing around because it makes you feel comfortable when the horse is working on the bit. It's like it's yoga, it's riding, it's the horse working in the correct way that's going to strengthen his muscles and allow his frame to be healthy and strong. So what I would do is, we're riding on a straight line here, I would take my horse and start to work in a bit of an arc. And as we work in an arc, I would ask for a little bit of inside flexion, that's my inside rein, and ask the horse to go soft. So we're riding straight, and then we ask for a little bit of inside flexion, making sure the horse is active first and that I'm sitting up. And if you ask a little bit of flexion, and keep your leg there if you need to. So you may find that he starts to chew the bit but fix his neck, and then I would keep going, a little bit of leg and a little bit of asking for that flexion again by a little bit of wriggling the fingers and asking and letting go gently with the fingers to ask for some flexion. That way your horse has got somewhere to soften to. If you're riding on the straight line, it's a little bit harder. So I would do that in walk on both reins, and then once you've got that established, then we can try that in trot. So you may just bring your horse into trot, working on this curve again, and then ask a little bit of wiggle to the inside for a little bit of flexion. The most important thing is, when your horse gives you what you've asked, is that then you remain neutral and you're not wiggling or moving your hands around. You're just staying neutral and soft. But then if your horse fixes his head again, that's where you ask for a little bit of an inside flexion wiggle. Maintaining the same contact on both reins, but it's that wiggle and that soften and that flexion that you might be asking for with the inside. Always making sure, the most important thing is that the horse is active and what we say in front of the leg before you focus on flexing the horse, etc. The first thing is that you put your leg on and the horse goes, and you don't want your horse to be clomping around lazily and inactively and then be wiggling with the bit or anything like that, because it's got to come from his activity behind, and then you're just asking him to soften and give so that he's soft over the back.